everybody. Welcome to Rachel's Reviews. We are really excited today because we have the Sundance Film Festival is coming. And this year we get this special gift of not having to wait and eat terrible food at the Grand because we get to watch it virtually. That's very exciting. And I am looking forward to it. They're doing virtual film festival 5 days this year instead of 10 days. Makes me a little sad, but it's going to be great. And to talk about some of the films that we're looking forward to, a little preview, my friend Austin Burke is here. And Austin, thank you so much for coming on my channel.
Oh, you're welcome. I am a first timer at Sundance this year, digitally. I was actually planning on going regardless, but now it's a lot more convenient. So I cannot wait to see what we find this year. If there's that movie that holds on in our top movies of the year, I've never been more excited for a festival.
Yeah. Have you been to a lot of festivals before?
I've been to one or two more, I don't want to say local, but near Kentucky. Smaller films, and then last year I did a lot of digital festivals, which is where I saw some of my favorites of last year. So this will be my first, Sundance is kind of like the one. This will be my first Sundance experience, but it'll kind of get me motivated to hopefully go in the future, which I can't wait for.
Yeah, so this is my 5th year covering the Sundance Film
Oh,
Festival.
wow.
I mean, it's
awesome.
Here in Utah, so that makes it a little bit easier.
Oh, yeah.
And they have this thing called the Locals Pass. And if you can get the Locals Pass, they don't have very many, so you have to be there right then. Then you can go see any movie you want at any time, and you get right up there to the front of the line too, which is the best. Yeah, and so I love covering Sundance. And last year I just had regular tickets. I didn't get the Locals Pass, which was a big bummer. But yeah, so this year they're doing this virtual experience. And the plus side of it is that more people are going to get exposed to the festival that would not have been able to experience it before. And it seems like to me that they are trying as hard as they can to replicate the festival experience with chat rooms and panels and director commentaries and things like that. That I think hopefully are going to. I guess we're sending out VR sets for the directors, so that when they're in the panel, they feel more a part of things, which is kind of wild. And so they're really trying hard to make it as authentic as they can. And I was joking on Twitter the other day that I should just order some really terrible pizza and wait around, and then I get the full festival experience.
You're not the first person that I've heard talk about that. Is it really that bad?
It's really that bad. And especially at the Grand, where they managed to make every single item of food taste like dirt. It all tastes like I got vegetables and hummus, and I'm like, how do you mess that up? It's so basic. No, it still tastes like dirt.
We're movie people. We're not food people. So clearly that's the mentality that they're going in with.
That's right. Jeez. It's just but it's part of the experience. And you go there and you're literally watching movies the whole day. Sometimes you watch 4 or 5 movies, and I mean that's what they're going to do here is have you have 5 slots that you can pick from. The only thing that annoyed me is that on day 1, on the 28th, you could only sign up for 1 slot.
Yes.
You see that? That was frustrating. I keep thinking they're going to change that, but they only allowing you to sign up for 1 movie on that first day. But other than that, you're supposed to get 5 slots. So we thought it would be fun to talk about some of the films that we're looking forward to, some of the ones we signed up for. Yes. And Sundance giveth and taketh away. So some of these will end up being amazing, and some of them will end up not being great at all. And there's sometimes this idea of the independent film is sacred, but the more you go to Sundance, the more that goes away.
Oh no.
And I had a couple from Sundance in my bottom of my in my worst of list last year. So you can get some pretty bad stuff.
Well, and there's this mentality that, I'm going in, I'm going to experience, because that's, as a first timer, I'm like, this is going to be crazy. But something's telling me that there are going to be some movies in here, like you just said, that I'm just like, why did I sign up for
Yeah.
this? But then hopefully there's the other end of the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully there's some films that I'm mesmerized by,
Yeah.
but it's almost like the Russian roulette of, am I
Yeah.
choosing the right film? I mean, I'm glad we have repeats showings. I'm glad we have the awards, but
Mhm.
I hope I get some of the good ones on
I
first watch on
know.
premiere.
It is the roulette. It really is.
Yeah.
And because you can have great films like when I saw Blinded by the Light, that
Oh,
was an
yeah.
incredible experience at Sundance. When I saw Step, when I saw the documentary Maiden that I loved there,
Yeah.
some really
Good one.
wonderful experiences at Sundance. And you know, a lot of people attend for sort of the stargazing of it all, but I never
Uh,
have. I don't really care as much about that. But I'm hoping that with the chat rooms and other stuff, because one of the benefits of having the locals pass is that you can
mm,
hear about something and you don't have to worry about getting a ticket. You've got your pass. And if
that's
you
cool.
hear in line, oh, this is really great. Oh, okay, I'm going to go. And so that was a reason why I think my experience at Sundance was better the previous years as opposed to last year.
Okay.
But I'm hoping that that will kind of be replicated in this chat room kind of experience where,
Yeah.
or even on Twitter, we'll hear, oh, this is really good. And then we can catch that for the second
Yes.
screenings. So it's going to be, I'm going to be like a mole person, just like watching movies 24/7.
That's what I told my wife. I'm like, I'm going to be in this cave. I'm not coming out. Give me 5 days. We can hang out after, but right now we're just going to Sundance it up. But I
Yeah.
also told her, I'm like, if you want to join me for one, you can. But again, I don't know. So
You're
good
like,
luck with
you're like,
that.
give me some energy bars and some
Yeah.
Gatorade and
Oh, that's all I need, man. I got my monster next to me. I'm good. I'm
yeah,
good to go.
that's right. Yeah, well, one that I am excited about is the movie Flea, and this is
Mm,
directed by Jonas Poer Rasmussen, and it's an animated film, so of course I'm excited about that. I think it might be mixed. I can't tell. We don't have a trailer or anything. It
yeah.
might have some live action, but we just know that Aman arrived as an unaccompanied minor in Denmark from Afghanistan. Today, at 36, he's a successful academic and is getting married to his longtime boyfriend. A secret he's been hiding for 20 years threatens to ruin his life
Mm,
that he's built for himself. For the first time, he's sharing his story with his close friend. So I
interesting.
don't know, that just sounds intriguing. And the animation angle, of course, makes me excited. This is the
Yes.
one that I picked over Coda on the 28th.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
That was a tough call, but I figured I got to pick the animation, right?
Yes.
But I think it sounds interesting. It sounds different.
I
So
did. I did too. I think one thing that surprised me about watching these things is seeing these so many different animated films. And I know we'll talk about a few more here in a bit, but my mentality was it's going to be a lot of live action. There's a lot of independent animated movies,
yeah.
which is
Mhm.
really shocking me. And I'm hoping we get some gems here this year. So that's got me really excited.
Yeah. And I'm going to be interviewing as many animators as possible over at Rotoscopers for the Sundance Film Festival. I've
Mm,
already logged two of the shorts directors.
okay.
I've already finished their interviews and just have to post them. So
Oh,
it's going to be a
nice.
really fun series over at rotoscopers.com. And I'm hoping to get the creators of Flea. I've emailed them. We'll see. But it sounds very interesting to me. But what's one you're looking forward to?
So one that I was really excited about is one called On the Count of Three, which, just that one image, you have two characters looking, pointing a gun at each other. I said, all right, this could be really cool.
Yeah.
And it also has Christopher Abbott, who I'm turning into a big fan of, but Jared Carmichael is kind of our guy here. He's the focal point of the film. So it's described as Val has reached a place where he finds the only way out is to end things, but he considers himself a bit of a failure, his effectiveness lacking. So he figures he could use some help. As luck would have it, his best friend, who is Christopher Abbott's character, is recovering from a failed suicide attempt. So he seems like the perfect partner for executing this double suicide plan. Now, this sounds really dark, but before they go, they have some unfinished business to attend to. And I'm a big fan of both of these actors, and I feel like this could be one of those crazy, dark, maybe picked up by A24
Yeah.
kind of movies, you know?
Uh-huh.
And it was actually it was probably my most, I have to get this reserved because it could be great. It could also be bad. It feels like one that could kind of go over the top in a way, but just from that picture that I'm looking at, oh my goodness, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, that one. I actually didn't sign up for that, but I'll have to put it on for a second screening. Hopefully, I'll
Yes.
get it. Another one that I'm looking forward to is I love shark movies. I'm a big fan of shark movies, and I love Jaws. And so Playing with Sharks immediately caught my eye. This documentary, Valerie Taylor is a shark fanatic and an Australian icon, a marine maverick who forged her way as a fearless diver, cinematographer, and conservationist. She filmed the real sharks for Jaws and famously wore a chainmail suit using herself as shark bait, changing our scientific understanding of sharks forever. That
Oh
sounds
my goodness.
amazing.
That does sound great. Oh, I don't think I'm reserved for this one. Oh man, I might have to do it. I might have to do it. That's because I think I can still go in and switch some of them out. I was able to about 2 days ago, so I hope I still can. So, man, that sounds great, Rachel.
Yeah. And some of the honestly, most of the time, I feel like the documentaries are my favorite.
Yeah.
At Sundance. Yeah, they are really usually extremely good.
Interesting.
Very good. So what's another one that you're excited about?
One called Together Together, which
I got my list.
Is that on your list? So this looks like a sweet, interesting film that could be one of those like nice heartfelt surprises when 26-year-old Anna becomes a gestational surrogate to a single middle-aged app designer named Matt. She expects only a transactional bit of good karma and the payday that will allow her to finish her college degree. But as Matt's unbridled enthusiasm for impending parenthood leads him to persistently insert himself into her life and invite her into his, the initially annoyed Anna finds herself reluctantly charmed. The pair of self-described lovers gradually open up to each other, give into the intimacy of their admittedly finite shared experience, and forge an unlikely friendship. And everyone's going to see Ed Helms, and I'm interested. Also, writer-director Nicole Beckwith, who did Stockholm. It seems like one of those really sweet surprises, and I'm excited to see Ed Helms kind of do something really good for the first time in a while. So maybe that's my hope there. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the last thing he was in that Vacation movie.
Yeah, which wasn't very good.
No, it was not.
Not good.
And yeah, this sounds really charming. And
yes, it does.
I think this could be this year's Blinded by the Light, which I love so much.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope it'll be good. Or what's his name? What's it called with Kinmel Noonjani? That was a big Sunset.
Oh, the Big Sick. That's the exact vibe. That's the exact vibe, Rachel, that I got by reading that. So that could absolutely be that kind of movie. Yeah.
Well, the next one I'm excited about is the Sparks Brothers. And this is a documentary directed by Edgar Wright. And it's how can one rock band be successful, underrated, hugely influential, and criminally overlooked all at the same time? Take a musical odyssey through the 5 weird and wonderful decades with brothers Ron and Russell Mael, celebrating the inspiring legacy of Sparks, your favorite band's favorite band. I mean, come on.
I mean, how do you go wrong with Edgar Wright? I mean, my goodness, looks great.
And I don't know if he's ever done a documentary before. I don't know. Maybe he has. I'm just not aware.
Yeah, I think this may be his first. And if that is the case, then we have 2 Edgar Wright movies this year with that and Soho. So that's really exciting as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. And so that's definitely, I'm pretty excited about. Do you have one more that you're looking forward to?
So, this is one of those I think could be bad, right? But something about it's kind of telling me maybe, right? And so it's called Jockey. I don't know if you saw this one.
I'm signed up for that one.
Did you sign up for that one? Okay, so I'm kind of excited for it. So The description is, and Clifton Collins Jr., by the way, who I like, seasoned horse jockey Jackson, who's Clifton, has weathered decades of races on riding the circuit, but now he finds himself facing what could be his last season with his health, while his health deteriorates. With the help of Ruth, played by Molly Parker, yes, and a promising new horse, Jackson starts to prepare for the upcoming championship. Also playing in this movie is young jockey Moises Arias. Do you remember Moises Arias from, was it Hannah Montana, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
Who
Sounds
played the young
familiar.
kid? Yeah, he shows up and claims to be his son. So caught between yearning for a connection and uncertainty about his future, Jackson confronts the question regarding his legacy. I hope this is good. I really hope this is good because it sounds like it could be really sweet.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Yeah, I've signed up for that one as well. I think it'll
Good.
be a good one. So the last one that I wanted to talk about that I'm excited for is the movie Street Gang.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this is a documentary about Sesame Street. And I've really enjoyed this whole sort of set of documentaries that they've done, where they had the Big Bird documentary, and then they had the Elmo documentary, and I don't know, just a bunch of those kinds of documentaries. And this is going back into the legacy, the history of Sesame Street. And I, somebody who, grew up watching Sesame Street, I think, and I love puppeteering, and I think it'll be really, really good. And this is going to be a HBO documentary, and their documentaries are really good. And so I'm excited to get the behind the scenes of Ernie and Bert. Finally, we know.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Sesame Street, it's that show that I grew up with, and I think everyone grew up with and kind of feels the same way about. So the fact that we're getting something like that, did you say HBO Max? I thought I heard somewhere.
HBO, yeah. I think it'll be on anything HBO.
Okay. So that's pretty exciting.
It's
Can I
HBO
mention
documentary.
Okay, so it will be an HBO original. Can I mention one more that I forgot about?
Please.
Just real quick. I had to throw this in because it's Nicolas Cage. I don't know if have you seen the picture for Prisoners of the Ghostland? It looks insane. It could be terrible. It could be the worst movie of the festival, but I'm just fascinated. I think he's a bank robber, and it's a city of samurai town is what it's called. There's a wealthy warlord who's after these characters. They're going in, and Nicolas Cage taking his weapons and the robbing banks, and it just looks like madness. And the end of the summary here says he's off on his path to redemption, and I'm like, let's go. So it could be ridiculous, but you have to have a crazy Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch that one for sure.
Yeah, he's been kind of a staple of the festival with like things like Mandy.
Yeah,
and which I heard was nuts.
It is.
So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. I have my 40th birthday is on the 23rd, and so I kind of look at it as this is my little birthday present.
This is the ultimate birthday present. Yeah. You're getting to watch all these movies and comfort of your own home, some good, some bad. I mean, it's gonna be a good birthday.
Yeah, I think so. Well, thanks so much for coming and previewing this. Let us know if you are going to be attending the festival. They've actually made it really affordable. It's only $15 for it to watch a movie, which is way less than normal price. To go to Sundance, it's usually like 25 to even more per ticket. So it's actually a really good deal, and you can get $75 for a five movie pass. That you can watch. So it's pretty reasonable and supports, of course, a good cause. And so if you are considering going, I think people really should. They're trying to make it as immersive and as accessible as they can. And so I'm excited for it. I can't wait. And I'm going to be doing my daily logs over on my blog, so people want to check those out. And Austin, where can people find you, and what kind of coverage are you going to be doing? on your channel?
Yeah,
Do you know?
I plan on being as active on Twitter and Letterboxd as possible, and hopefully doing a little bit of a recap video on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. And Rachel, I may even have you on for that if you're
Yes.
up for it. But you guys can find me Austin Burke on YouTube and Letterboxd, and then at the Burkinator on Twitter and Instagram. I'm so excited. If one good thing came from the craziness of last year, and I wouldn't even call it a good thing, but to open it up to casual audience members that
Yeah,
have never had a chance to go to Sundance, I think that's a positive. That's something we can kind of latch on to, and that gets me really excited for the future possibilities of film
I think so
festivals, if
too.
you
And
will.
people
Yeah,
will get to see these films, and it'll
yeah,
help independent film get more exposure, which I think is a good thing.
I agree.
And maybe in the future we can have some kind of hybrid version of it where we'll have
Yeah,
the home and on the ground. But until then, we've got this. And you can follow me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. And if you're listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patreon group and merch store, so check that out. And thanks so much, Austin. This was really fun. And we'll talk to you all later. Bye, everyone.